Right, hello there. Let's try this again. I did this webinar yesterday and unfortunately there were things that I didn't know about Hangouts on air via YouTube that I learned, and I only learned them after I recorded the whole webinar. So here I am doing it again. Of course, I don't have an audience now. However, I will treat it as if I have one. In the video, you will be able to, or below it rather, please feel free to ask questions or if you have any, or make comments. I would love to have your feedback. And or you can email me directly at info@CoachingSelf.com if you have any questions. Right, let's get going. How this is working is I'm going to do an introduction, and then I'm going to switch over to a presentation and later to the online system to show you. Come back here and we'll end off here. Great, let's go. All right, so what I did yesterday, what was really the problem, is that I pressed play on the presentation, which of course blanked out the screen, which is very unfortunate. So today, if you bear with me with all the screens on the side, let's just talk through them. So the big question here is, do you have what it takes to be wealthy? Not everybody is wealthy, aren't we? I mean, if you think about it, I think only about 3% of the world population are really wealthy. Of course, as we will see in a moment, wealth is not all about money. So this webinar and this whole program on Coaching Self is about your beliefs about money and wealth and how that determines how you experience money and wealth. It's also about money laws. I read a beautiful article about Brian Tracy's book, 21 Unrefutable Laws About Money, which really gave me a lot of insight. And it confirms what all the other financial gurus say as well. And then, of course, it's really about taking responsibility. That is the first law of money, is to take responsibility for your life. And once you can do that, know how to work with money. Because even if you think, even some people may seem to have a lot of money and seem to be wealthy and very rich, the amount of debt or lack of savings or all of that is maybe just living from paycheck to paycheck anyway. So knowing how to work with money is absolutely essential on a road to financial wealth. Right. As a prerequisite on the system, CoachingSelf.com, is that on my Coaching Self Your Private Space on the money program, is to first do these quick win programs. They're very short and powerful, and the idea is to create enough awareness in you to prepare you to do the Money Basics program. Now, when you do the Money Basics program on Coaching Self, you will set the scene first. And by this, we mean really look at your intention, why you want to do this. Will you commit to this? If you get any awarenesses and changes that you want to make, do you commit to yourself to actually implement them? So you will do an assessment before the time, before you start, to see where you are now. And you will also do one after. Right, let's start with beliefs about money. Now, what Brian Tracy says, and that is true not just for money, but for everything. Whatever you think about all the time becomes your reality. Whatever movies you play in your mind all the time, whatever pictures you see, and you add your meanings to it, and you feel the states about it, will become your reality. That is a fact. Now, if you focus then on scarcity and lack, always focus on what you don't have, on what you are short of, what you're lacking. That is what you will get more of. Poverty in the end. If you focus on abundance and gratitude and really look for what you have already and be grateful for that, again, you will get more of that. So it's really true what they say, that wealth is a mindset. Now, how this works, of course, is again how we represent the world. How you represent your experiences, your events, that your experiences with money. Moving through the filters of your values, your beliefs, as I just talked about, how you represent that in your mind, with the meanings that we add to it, will put you in a state, in a mind-body state. And as you know by now, I've said it over and over again, we respond from state. We think, we act, we talk, we feel more from state. So your behavior, of course, has consequences, has outcomes. So if you think about it, whatever your behavior is, whatever your state is, when you experience money, will determine your behavior and, of course, your outcomes. So if you think scarcity, you're going to be in a state of perhaps fear or animosity or frustration. And how will you respond? How do you respond from those states? And what will their outcomes be? So by changing your behavior, meaning you need to change your state. You need to change the meanings you have about money. And that is what we do in the program. You explore your meanings and your beliefs about money. See how they play out in your life. See what other more empowered meanings you can give to it. And do the neurosemantics processes to start integrating those new beliefs into your life. Act on them and create a shift towards thinking towards abundance and prosperity and wealth. Now, let's move on to beliefs about wealth. It may surprise you, and it surprised me when I read about it the first time, is that wealth is not money. Money is just the appearance of wealth. Wealth is a mindset of appreciation. To really appreciate things and people and love and the things that money can't buy. And if you think about that, how wealthy are you already? Do you have your health? Do you have a roof over your head, food to eat, clothes to wear? Do you have a job? Can you look after yourself? Just that. It's so much wealth already. So we need to see what we have and need to capitalize on that, to grow it. It's like a little seed that you have already and you grow it. So the next thing that's important is, of course, your money coping skills. Now, money is actually a deficiency need. Now, when Maslow created his hierarchy of needs, all the needs below self-actualization are what we call deficiency needs, meaning that they need to be satisfied every day. In other words, if you look at physiology, the basic survival, you need to eat, you need to have water, you need to have maybe a roof over your head and food to eat. That's the survival. That's the first level. The next one is safety. You need to feel safe in your body, in your environment, in the systems and the worlds that you move in. Then we move up. Now it's belonging and social. We are social creatures. We need to connect with others. That's why if we're unhappy at work with relationships, we find another job, because we really need that connection. We need friends and family. And then esteem. We need to feel important every day. We need to feel that we matter. All right. But these are the needs that we need to satisfy every day. And the moment you satisfy the need, it goes away. If you eat in the morning breakfast, you don't think about food until you're hungry again. All right. So, and of course, money provides for all of this. Hey, money pays for all of these needs. So it's important to know what is your numbers. How much money do you need to cover your needs? Do you have a budget? Do you know how much money you need? And of course, that contributes to your peace of mind. Once you know you've got the money to look after my needs, that's the most essentials, that's great. I can do that. Next level is my lifestyle. I want to have money for entertainment or travel or a new hobby or a new career or studies or whatever. That is something else. And then insurance. Know that when something goes wrong, you are covered. You have the insurance to pay for that. So that money coping skills, if you know your numbers and you know what you need, you've got insurance in place, and then you can focus on other more important things. So know your numbers. Now, earning power. Now we start moving into the basics of money, which is about earning, saving, spending, debt, and giving back. All right, so earning power. Now, if we look at self-actualization, it's a synergy between meaning and performance. All right, and between meaning and performance. And what I would like to know now is, sorry for getting off track. I just wonder if perhaps it just shows that it's not playing anymore. But let's see. All right. I mean that your screen is blank now. Otherwise, I'll have to find another way, not doing a presentation at all. But all right, so let me carry on as if everything is great. So your earning power is your greatest asset in your cash flow. And if you want more money, you have to have more value. That's as simple as that. So exchange of value. So earning money is the exchange of value, your value that you bring. Now, if you talk about value, it's about your skills and your talents and your passions. And that together gives you purpose. Of course, as you move and you improve your hard skills in your work, whatever you do, you also need to improve your emotional intelligence, your social intelligence. In other words, you need to do personal development. You need to grow as a person. That is important. And this is what this program, again, is all about. Is that personal development, is to get to know yourself, is to become more emotionally and socially intelligent. And this is where we talk about meaning and performance. So if you have a lot of meaning in what you do, then that will influence your performance. You will want to improve your skills. And the moment you have better skills, it gives you more meaning in your life and in your performance, so that you can really experience peak performances and have peak moments. And that is the synergy between meaning and performance. And that is all about this journey to self-actualization. Isn't it great? This is also the signature of Wealth Inside Out. And Wealth Inside Out is the title of a book by Michael Hall of Neurosemantics. And what he explains there is, in his research, is that people, first generation wealth builders, in other words, people who have made a lot of money and they have accumulated it, in other words, they've kept it. Those people all, one by one, every single one of them, had a passion and a purpose, and they threw themselves in there wholeheartedly. And they then build something. Because then if you do that, you have this internal natural motivation. It is your work. It is not work, actually. It is play for you. That is what it feels like for me. That is what my work feels for me. It's not work. I love every moment, everything I do around it. I love it. So your earning power is your essence, your purpose. It's you growing. as a person. As you grow, so will your ability to earn more money. Now, earning more money is your first step. The second step, of course, is saving money. So it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, says Susie Orman. So you need to pay yourself first. You need to save 10% of your income. But even if you're not there, start where you are. Even if it's 1%, doesn't matter. Brian Tracy says, financial success is the accumulation of 1,000 small financial goals. And that is so true. Creating financial wealth is a journey. It's a long-term thinking process. It's not a get rich quick fix. Not at all. It's about getting rich slow. So if you have that in your mind and in your thinking, then you will know that it takes time. But money has the uncanny ability to mushroom. And here we think about things like compound interest. The main thing is for you, for your saving, your act of saving to become a habit. It needs to be a habit. Every month, every little thing that you have that's extra, put it in there, in your savings account. Have a glass jar where you put in your change every day. See money accumulate. Right. So saving money, when you get to investing, that's another program, because this is not about investing yet. This is just the money basics. But just one tip about investing is, if you look for a financial advisor, make sure that that person has, in his own right, in his own personal capacity, for his own account, have accumulated much more money than what you want to invest. Right. Controlling your spending. Now, the richest man in Babylon says that you need to spend no more than 70% of your income on expenses. And let's face it, it's really a phenomenon, terrible phenomenon in the world today, is that we cannot control our spending. The reasons for that is instant gratification. Most of us don't have a budget. And of course, Parkinson's law. You see, if you save money, you must pay yourself first. So saving must be the first item on your budget, not the last, not as an afterthought, because you will never have money at the end of the month left over to save. According to Parkinson, you will actually use up that money. Your expenses will increase according to your income. The wonderful thing is that we are wonderfully adapting people, or creatures, if I can put it that way. And what I mean by that is that if you pay yourself first, if you just take a chunk, 10% for example, put it away, you will definitely manage with the rest. So control your spending. Clearing your debt. Again, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason says that you need to spend no more than 10% of your income on paying debt. If you spend more than 10%, it means that you are over indebted. And isn't it true? The instant gratification, the out of control spending is really a debt trap, where you just in the end use all of your income to service your debt. And debt is costly. Interest, it just robs you of abundance. So there's a whole program there then to clear your debt. Robert Kiyosaki says the only good debt is when someone else pays off your debt. Of course, an exception here is when you buy your own property and you have a mortgage. But again, make sure that you don't spend, you don't buy over beyond your means, and you don't spend all of your money on just paying for the house. And then giving back. Giving back is about demonstrating your gratitude, and that can happen. You can do that with time or money or goods. It doesn't have to be money. If you have goods that you don't use anymore, give that away. If you don't have money to donate, give your time. Give your time to someone, to volunteer. And at the end, you will do a self-assessment after the program and a final review. I'm going to go back now to the so that you can see me. I really hope that you could see everything now. I'll check on the playback after the webinar. What I just like to say that is, if I don't see it, I'm going to make yet another webinar without any presentation. Just go to the system and explain that. And maybe that's actually the better idea. And I will do this presentation as a separate recording. Now, let me go and show you the system. Again, I'm going to share now. All right, here we are at CoachingSelf.com. I would like to show you on the system what this looks like. All right, so on my CoachingSelf.com, where your course is, browse programs, click on money. Now remember, I said you need to do your quick wins as a prerequisite before you do the Money Basics program. Here are all your prerequisite programs. They are very short, about 5 questions or so per little program, and call to action for you to do something. All right, let me go and show you what the Money Basics program look like. All right, so here it is. Here, set the scene, where you go and set your intention and your self-assessment. Here is the laws of money, where you take responsibility. You explore your beliefs about money. Explore your beliefs about wealth. Do your money coping skills. Earning money. Saving money, controlling your spending, clearing your debt, and giving back. And here you can go back to Coaching Self. So you can switch between coaching and Coaching Self over here. Programs, money, Money Basics. You will see, just want to quickly go inside so you can see what it looks like. There's your intention review, self-assessment. For example, there's your self-assessment where you rate all of these statements just for yourself. And you will come and do the same assessment after you've done the program and you've implemented your changes, you set your money, your goals, and your actions. Take responsibility, and there are some questions, all free text for you to answer to create self-awareness. As you answer these questions, you will uncover some of your beliefs and create great awareness, because all of these beliefs are in our subconscious. It drops out of consciousness. By asking the questions or by answering the questions, you become aware of beliefs you didn't know you had before. And that awareness empowers you now to say, okay, fine, this works for me and this doesn't. So I want to change the beliefs that don't work for me, and I want to replace them with empowering beliefs. And all those processes you get in your toolkit. So from these programs, I sent you to the toolkit where you can go and do all of these neurosemantic processes and patterns, and change your beliefs, change limiting beliefs, etc., etc. Right, so let me come back to right, here I am again. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if there are any questions, feel free to send them to me. And we have different subscriptions on Coaching Self. I would love if you would subscribe. In actual fact, let me just quickly show you that. So after you've done the assessment, there's some questions. If you have any questions, please send it to info@CoachingSelf. And these are our subscriptions. We have a 3 month, 6 months, and 12-month subscription for those amounts. It's very low. It's only about $24 for 3 months. 12 months, only $65. We're continuously adding new programs and new information and new stuff and new blogs and courses, videos, etc. to this program, to the site. I also do coaching sessions face-to-face if you are in my vicinity or over Skype. Contact me for that. Rates are also on Coaching Self. And then in Pretoria, again, I do certified neurosemantics trainings. If you would like to become a coach or would like to do some self-leadership training, we're doing that on the 9th to 11th of April here in Pretoria. And you can check on the events on CoachingSelf.com. We will have on YouTube here upcoming live events every Wednesday. So you can also, of course, check on the YouTube channel. I will schedule them ahead of time over the next few weeks. Hopefully, I will do that today. Right. Now let me go and say thank you. Right. So thank you so much for joining me for this webinar. I really hope it showed all the screens and did not black it out again. And if it did, I would going to make yet another webinar. Until then, subscribe. Do the work yourself. Otherwise, it's just like reading a beautiful self-help book and putting it down and carry on with life as it is, with no changes ever. So do the work. You need to do the work. Great. Until next time. Bye.